I'll see you again, mate. Take care, dude. Ta-da. So as you just seen, I made a new friend then called Dave, who's an actual Scotsman from Scotland, practicing his bagpipes in the wilderness of Abercarn. So now that I've got my breath back, let's tell you why I'm in the woods. I'm currently on a bit of a pilgrimage that I've been doing since I was a child, and this is one of the routes that I've been taking since my grandfather first took me up the what you would call the Gwyddon Valley, or the Tywin. There's a river here, a brook, that goes down into the River Ebu behind me. But we could follow the source up, which has got a nice open area. So let's go check it out. I'm also up here to research a project I'm working on, which I'll let you know in videos to come. But let's continue this pilgrimage that I've been doing since I was like 9 years old. If I show you the path right here, the path is no way as good as it was when I first started coming up here over 20 years ago with my grandparents. But there's a lot of history in these woodlands, including coal mines, distilleries, maybe some iron works. So let's follow this around and I'll tell you a bit about the Gwyddon Valley history. So we're back on the original track now that leads down into the valley. We'll be skirting around the valley on the way. But yeah, I used to ride my bike down here quite often, falling over the side of the path here numerous times. But it's a gorgeous afternoon. It's probably about 5:30 now in the afternoon. I can see a tent down there already. So yeah, once we get to the far end, I'll explain why I'm on this pilgrimage. There's a couple of bridges down here and man-made things that they'll help you get through. So we'll check those out at some point. But it's been a great walk, bringing back a lot of memories from when I was a child. Especially memories of my grandfather and my own father, actually. We used to come down here on the bikes very often. And like I said in a previous clip, I've actually fallen over here before. You can see the brook down here, which goes down the valley. I was talking to one of the locals the other day, and I like fishing myself, especially for trout. And some of the trout have managed to get out the river and flow up the brook. So that's one of today's agendas, is to get down by the brook and see if there's any brown trout down there. So I've got my polarizer sunglasses on today to help me look through the water. But yeah, it's nice and lush and green. Just love this. And because I grew up around here, I kind of took it for granted growing up, but now I'm older, you kind of realise how much of a lovely place I actually grew up in. Like, we didn't need youth clubs growing up, we just had the valleys to explore, you know? And the valleys are full of ruins and old farmsteads, loads of stuff to discover just wandering around these hills. So the path is declining here, which will lead us down to the brook where there should be some bridges. So as you saw, that bridge has been there since I was a child. I think it's the second one. Actually, the first one got damaged. And then this is one of the other trails that come up the valley, which is a lot easier than where I just tackled. So by here, it used to be as deep as where you see the grass starting. This has been worn down here by bikes. The water would be up to here. And I remember there being little fish actually skirting around the banks here. So what we're going to do is continue up and over, up into the valleys even further. But yeah, it's kind of cool being back down here. It's quite a sentimental area for me to be. No sign of any brown trout so far. They would be very lucky to get this far up, so maybe further down where I passed. Let's continue, go back over the bridge and head further up the Gwyddon Valley. If you do walk all the way up, you could drop down over the other side and you'd be in Cwmbran, which is crazy because if there was a road connecting to Cwmbran from here, it would take like a third of the time driving in a car to get to Cwmbran that it would the standard route now, which means you have to go to Crumlin, then Pontypool, then Cwmbran. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful up here. But yeah, I can't imagine any brown trout going this far up. So now we've reached the fire roads. These fire roads are created to allow fire trucks access to the mountains if there's ever a forest fire. Unfortunately, I've lived through quite a few forest fires, and as a child growing up around here, it is quite scary when you see half the mountain ablaze. But it doesn't necessarily happen that often anymore. The usual causes for forest fires are glass left up here. That's usually for people leaving bottles or from ex-commercial waste from where there used to be a water distillery plant here. On occasion you do get people who come up here and purposely start fires, which is not cool. I went to school with a person who actually did do that. I didn't know he did it until years later. But yeah, it causes so much damage up here, and uses a lot of human resources to put the fire out. You do see helicopters up here dropping water on the blazes. Now they can put the blazes out quite quickly, but as a child, when helicopters wasn't always something that the local council could afford, the mountain would burn for days on end until it went out with natural causes or just the way the trees are planted. So they do plant the trees now. You can't see it here, but you can see it if you look at a wide view shot of the mountains. They do grow trees in a particular way that stops fires from jumping from one to the other. So if there is a forest fire, you get like a section that burns and it burns out then. One of the many paths that lead off from here. So this would go to the Cwmbran Scenic Drive if you go up and drop down over the other side. You'll probably get the Tumbal and Tump going that way as well. It'll take a lot longer than where I'm going because there's a lot more inclines over there. So yeah, I've been walking for about 20-25 minutes now. There should be a path on the left that drops down to where the brook is, and there should be a bridge. Unless that's been destroyed, so we'll continue walking and find out. So there's actually a reason why I'm here, which I haven't mentioned on the way up, but I am really fucking hungry, so good job I brought a lunch with me. But yeah, my grandfather first brought me here when I was a child. Only I just live in just down there, 20 minutes walk away, 25 minutes walk away. And for me to come here as a child for the first time, just exploring this area alone was just like so eye-opening for me. It was incredible. Like, so every time I've come here, I just share, just like feel that same experience I did as a child. And if I just show you around here, it is so beautiful. We even have the little area where I used to build dams and everything. It's still there. There used to be bridges over these sections though, and these are like, these picnic benches are probably like the 10th iteration of them being put here, because the amount of vandalism that's happened here over the years since I was a child. We got to the point where the council just got fed up of replacing the benches. There was even barbecue sections, and you can even see here where they're planting new trees and they got protection around them. But it's nice to see that the area has been preserved since they've been redoing the area up. So we've got a beautiful little meadow section here with these picnic benches. So yeah, it's incredible just to be back up here. So I am going to enjoy my lunch, and I'll be back to you and I'll explain in a bit more detail why I'm here. It's not just for personal reasons, it's for other reasons too. So I'll be right back. I've been trying to stick this in a tree, but I'll just freehand it. So the reason I'm here is because I'm doing an exhibition in Newport on the 3rd of August that will be at Photo, which is based inside the Victorian Arcade, just opposite Witherspoons, and it's within 2 minutes walk of Newport train station. So the book is going to be based on the theme of Abercarn and the surrounding area, with the images loosely following the story of Lily of the Valley. And I think a lot of people back home know about that. You guys may not so much. I'll put a link in the description of this video if you want to learn more about that. So I come up here to do a bit of research. The book is kind of fictional, but I think it draws inspiration from factual events that maybe happened in and around Abercarn. It was written by a woman called Catherine Morgan. That is not her real name, of course. I'll put that in the description about the author. But I'm up here today because there's a segment in the book that is quite tragic, where a farmer ends up committing suicide, and his body is found in a pool around here. So I'm up here today doing research and a little bit of photography to help me with the exhibition. So that's why I'm here, and I'm really excited to announce that to you guys. So if you want to come along, it's in Newport, South Wales on the 3rd of August. Time to be announced. It's going to be in the afternoon, evening. I will be doing a talk. There will be a Q&A. The Q&A will probably be mostly based about myself and the equipment I used to capture the images on the day. I am going to try and reach out to the author to see if she is still about. But the book was written in the 70s, I think. I'll have to fact check that, but obviously look in the description of this video if I may have said something that is might be not true. But yeah, I'd like to invite anyone who sees this video to come along on the day, listen to what I got to talk about, and obviously share your own experiences of living in Abercarn and the surrounding area. I'm actually taken back today because this place did fall apart with a lot of vandalism, and it's really nice to see that it's come together quite well with local funding from the council, and I assume mostly from the people who live around here as well. These benches are put in by the Gwyddon Valley group. I haven't heard of the Gwyddon Valley group before, but I'm assuming that's the name of the forestry that looks after this area. Maybe people who live in the area too, but like I said, everything is going to be in the video description. So I'm going to have to head back now. I think I've got about an hour and a half till it's dark, but I've walked this route so many times in my life that I could probably get home with my eyes closed. I might spend a few more minutes around here though, just to take it in, because it has changed a lot. I remember there used to be a lot of barbecue sections here that got destroyed. There was a bridge just by this tree, and just down by here there was another bridge too that you could use to sit on and put your feet in the stream, which is lovely. You get nice fresh water straight from the top of the valley right there. But doing research and at the same time just sort of reigniting creative spark within myself as well. But yeah, so don't forget to check out the exhibition if you're available on the 3rd of August, which will be on a Friday afternoon, evening. I think it might be more towards the evening the talk will be, but while if you do attend or not, there's going to be a picture book available which you can buy there, or you can actually buy through my website, or I might actually put a copy on Amazon as well, just to make it easier and more accessible for other people to get a hold of. I can't believe how much this has changed. You could use I'm pretty sure there used to be sections here where you could park the car, because you can still get access here by road, but there's no access here by car. But I think back then you could park the car along here. I saw a guy on a bike just a moment ago come down the mountain. They do use the mountain here to do time trails with downhill motorbikes. Yeah, they call it downhill and don't. So as a child growing up, my neighbours were from Brussels in Belgium, and we used to bring them here in the summer. The one summer we came down here, there was so many people here just enjoying the weather. I don't think it'll ever be like that again, unfortunately. But yeah, since the next door neighbours are from Belgium, we used to bring them down here and they used to have a whale of a time. Let's go down and see if this old bridge is still here. So yeah, I can see that the bridge is still here, but unfortunately it's in disrepair now. I can't believe how much corrosion has made that fall over. But it was originally a wooden bridge, and you could actually put your feet in the stream. It's just crazy how much this area has changed over the past few years, but it is still just as stunning as the first time I came here. Just like how much like just the amount of wildlife here, and the vegetation, and how green and lush the area is. So we got a decision to make now. This is the old trail that used to come here. There's also the old trail that used to come here as well and come over the bridge. I'm assuming because there's no access there anymore that I'm just going to walk 20 minutes into a dead end situation. So considering the light is falling right now, we might as well just head back up the valley. So this is not the route I come here on, but this is probably the safest route by foot rather than the other side. So these guys do have a website here, GwyddonValley.com, so I'll be sure to put that in the video description. Yes, thank you. Walking sticks with thumb pieces. It's when you got a stick with a V shape in it. So you put your thumb, obviously you put your thumb in the stick when you walk. So I've got it oversized and I'll cut it down when I get home. It's so cool how the trees are just growing on that old farmstead wall. So there's an old wall that continues down here quite a bit. There's not much in there anymore, but it probably used to be farmland back in the day. That's like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It says keep out CCTV. So this walk is about to come to an end. We'll finish it right by here because my parents' house is just by here. But I've got a beautiful view of Cwmcarn Farm. Cwmcarn is the next village down from Abercarn, where my grandparents live. So yeah, we're going to finish that video right by here. So if you like that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I'll be seeing you soon. Peace out.